So Spence is done. So you're done with Spence for right now. Okay. So Spence is not. So you don't think Spence will be this year? Maybe next year.
Never.
Really? Why say never? What about 154, Terrence?
Never gonna happen.
What about 154? You gonna go to 154 soon? Or?
I don't know.
You're looking big.
What's going on, you guys? So I said in my last video in regards to this particular topic that it was gonna be my last video, likely be my last video, but I got some stuff that I kind of want to get off my chest real quick. I may not do no fancy editing for this video. I'm just trying to get my point across, but let this lesson be learned for us boxing fans, right? Let this be a lesson learned. Now, I don't believe the fight is truly over. I do think that there's a way this fight could happen, and I'll explain later, but let this be a lesson learned for us as boxing fans. Why? Because all we had to do from the beginning, all we had to do is just root for the fight, push for the fight. It didn't have to be this big rift amongst boxing fans. We didn't have to be arguing amongst each other about purse splits, 60-40, all this bullshit, right? And that was my stance early on. But we in this shit together. You know, I don't want to be, I'm not for the bullshit. But we in this shit together, and let this be a lesson learned. Because when you get the negotiations in the public, you get the fans all talking about it, shit like this happens. We seen it happen with Wilder and Joshua. The negotiations was in public. They was going back and forth and shit. Then the fight just didn't happen. Same thing with Crawford and Spence. Crawford seems to be pretty irritable about the whole situation. It didn't really have to be this 3-year-long process where a lot of belittlement and downgrading of Terrence Crawford began. Years ago, you couldn't find a Bud Crawford hater. I promise you could not find a Bud Crawford hater. But ever since this Spence shit started, that's when the hate began. You know, that's when the hate started. But for me, this fight could happen if Errol Spence Jr. makes it happen. I don't see anything that Terrence Crawford could really do to make this fight happen. Maybe go over to PBC, the fight will happen. But other than that, I still don't believe that the fight will happen unless Errol Spence Jr. makes it happen. Not Bob Arum, not Al Heyman, not the powers that be. Errol Spence Jr. Because once he says go, then we can get this show on the road. But for years, the whole campaign of downplaying Terrence Crawford began. Oh, he on the wrong side of the street. Oh, he ain't did nothing in the welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? All types of shit. Once he got that belt from Jeff Horn, that's when the energy changed. And here we are today. And instead of us boxing fans being on the same page, you got one group of fans that's co-signing the bullshit, the 60-40 splits, you know, the 70-30, and all the bullshit that came with it. Then you got another group of fans that say, man, fuck all that, man. Let's just make the fight. Let's just see the fight. You know? This is the shit that happened during this whole little Crawford Spence thing. You know, fans looking for any excuse and any reason why Crawford didn't deserve to fight and why he has to do this and why he has to take that. Instead of them just worrying about the actual fight being made. Fans protected Errol Spence Jr. They was protecting him from Terrence Crawford. And now Terrence Crawford is like, man, fuck this shit, dude. I'm over it. Now, this fight still could happen if Errol Spence Jr. makes it happen. I don't see anything Bud can do at this point. I don't see nothing that he can do to make the fight happen. Nothing. You can't make somebody fight you. You know what I'm saying? And clearly money is not the issue like people want to make it out to believe. It's more about, I don't know if I could beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with money. The money's there for that fight. Errol Spence is likely going to be getting a lion's share anyway. But I believe that also with that, I believe that is the way he went about it. Maybe Crawford would take the 40 if Spence came correct. But he all out in the public with it, telling everybody this is what Crawford got to do this and do that. How would you feel? You'll be pretty irritated and upset too. It's not like you can go put your hands on them. You prize fighters. You can't just do that. Especially as grown folks. You can't just go around putting your hands on people. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Us boxing fans should have been on the same page. We're not on the same page about anything. And if we should be on the same page about anything, it should be the best competing against each other. Yeah, we could agree to disagree. We may not like this guy's style. We may like this guy. We may not like that guy. But at the end of the day, us as fight fans, we should all want to see the same thing. And that's the best fighting the best. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.